To all my black people from all over the world, once again, welcome to Africa the Nations show. My black people, I hope that you're taking notes of what is happening in the western part of Africa. What I can say is that what is happening in West Africa is unprecedented. This is because Mali and Burkina Faso have made statements to the effect that an attack on Niger will be treated as an attack on Burkina Faso and Mali. And this is a defining moment because it sets a precedent in the African continent. And I can only compare this to what happened in Asia when China entered North Korea in defense of North Korea against the invading Americans, an event that has shaped the history of Asia. And ever since then, we have not seen any other interventions by the Americans in the Asian continent. So, before we proceed, have a look at this video first.
Avertissent que toute intervention militaire
warn that any military intervention against Niger would amount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. I repeat, forewarn that any military intervention against Niger would amount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali. I repeat one last time. Warn that any military intervention against Niger would amount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
Gouvernement de transition du Burkina Faso.
The transitional governments of Burkina Faso and Mali invite the living forces to be ready and mobilized, to lend a hand to the people of Niger in these dark hours of Pan-Africanism.
The brotherly peoples of Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Guinea aspire to more recognition and respect for their sovereignty.
Sovereignty is the word you keep hearing again and again in the region. Why are the military juntas in Guinea, in Burkina Faso and Mali so aggressively supporting Niger? Because if this military intervention that ECOWAS has threatened, the regional bloc, if they were to invade Niger and restore the president of Mohamed Bazoum, his government, there's no reason why they can't do the same in Burkina Faso or in Mali or in Guinea. So this club of coup plotters have to stick together. They're all suspended from ECOWAS, the regional body. They are all isolated from the rest of the international community, and the only fraternity they have is among themselves. And they're riding this public wave of anti-French sentiment, anti-international meddling that exists along the region, Julia. So they had no choice but to do this.
Yes, protecting Niger and themselves, or at least the coup plotters and themselves. Larry Madowo, thank you for that.
My black people, these statements by Mali and Burkina Faso comes against a backdrop of France and their proxy governments in West Africa threatening to invade Niger, for the coup that happened in the country recently. So what you have to realize is that even though many African countries were granted independence a long time ago, the Western countries, which were the Western colonizers, still maintained a lot of influence in their former colonies. And what this means is that we had a lot of exposure to Western media platforms. And as you know, my black people, these Western media platforms have an agenda. And the agenda, of course, is to make Africans, which were countries which were formerly colonized, to make them feel inferior about themselves. And this is what, Western countries did using their media stations to great effect in the African continent. So it reached a point where many Africans believed that, Western people and their culture are way more superior to Africans. We believed that their military is very strong, more than African countries, and we thought ourselves as inferior. And this is why, for a long time, there was no African country that was willing, to confront or face a Western military in a war. But now that we have a lot of exposure from social media and other news platforms, Africans are now confident, and this is why you can see something that is unprecedented. We now have the confidence to face the French, and their military in a war. And this is why Mali and Burkina Faso are not afraid anymore. And, they are spoiling for a fight. They are challenging the French to invade Niger, and that their militaries, of course, are gonna be there to protect Niger. Black people in continental Africa now realize the essence of being united. I hope that most of you realize that the main reason why Africa is weak is because we are divided into 54 small countries. And so just imagine one small country from Africa facing the French army in a war. It is impossible. But now, African governments and African presidents are realizing that we have to be united. And I echo the statements of Burkina Faso's president, Ibrahim Traoré, recently stated that there are ongoing plans, between Mali and Burkina Faso to form a federation, He also stated that their militaries are already conducting joint operations and should be treated as well as one. So this is a president who gets it, and it's very promising, and I know that the future of Africa will be very great because it sets a very nice precedent for us to be united. That's all for today. I leave you with the speech of Ibrahim Traoré on the essence of Mali, and Burkina Faso being united. Goodbye.
Bien sûr, nous avons lancé l'idée, d'ailleurs qui n'est pas bien appréciée par certains de la CEDEAO. Voilà, vous avez dû voir les images dans certaines conférences où ils ne sont pas d'accord qu'on puisse fédérer. Il faut que les gens comprennent qu'en rang dispersé, ça sera difficile. On va se battre, mais il faut que l'Afrique arrive à s'unir. Et plus on s'unit, plus on est efficace. Nous sommes en train d'évaluer actuellement beaucoup de choses avec le Mali, surtout sur le domaine économique. Sur le côté défense, déjà, on a des accords, ça c'est déjà scellé. Les Maliens viennent chez nous, c'est la même armée. On fait tout ensemble, on s'entraîne ensemble, on combat ensemble. Terrestre, aérien, tout se passe bien. Et voilà, donc le volet économique aussi, on est en train de réfléchir. On a beaucoup de flux d'échanges commerciaux. Comment renforcer, voilà, il y a beaucoup de paramètres à prendre en compte. Et voilà, on n'exclut pas notre État vienne fédérer avec nous. Donc le processus est en cours. Voilà, et plus tôt ça va venir, mieux c'est. Donc s'il y a d'autres États qui sont intéressés, c'est sûr qu'on va aller vers la Guinée. Et s'il y a d'autres États intéressés, qu'on puisse s'unir. C'est ce que la jeunesse demande.